officially live. It is Monday night. It is the We Outside show. You got Dooney and Mikey P, and that's all you're getting tonight because that's all you need tonight. Because whether we got a guest or we don't got a guest, if you're locked in with real conversation, you need to be tuned into this situation. And we're gonna jump right into it. Before we do, I just want to remind y'all if you're tapping in with us tonight, special episode tomorrow. We're gonna have Black Walt. Black Walt is widely known for naming Tech Nine. Blackwell also has a song in his name by Tech Nine. So if you want to learn more about that and more about a lot of different things, we got some exclusives yesterday or on tomorrow because that's we're going to air that episode. Shout out to Blackwell. But Dooney, we were just talking before we went live, right? And we were talking about you today going through some hooks and chapters of your life. And I respectfully cut you off because I was like, this is where we need to start tonight. Because like any conversation that we have, it's all unscripted. And that's exactly where we're going to start tonight. We're going to start with music. That's exactly where we're going to go. So I uncut you off now. Where were you going with that? Tell me what was running through your mind earlier today when you were going through pages in your history through in your life through hooks and lyrics and things like that, because this is gonna be a good conversation.
Well, like first it's interesting because everybody don't know that I'm into music, right? Only some people are learning, oh, he sings. Oh, you sing? Right? But they don't know I've been doing that my whole life, man, since choirs. You know what I'm saying? And that was
the
music
acting thing as well. Lots going on.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They didn't know anything about Shakespeare. They don't know I was inside doing Shakespeare, bro. I wasn't on the yard, bro, learning how to, get a hell of domino game, you know what I mean, in a pinochle game, bro. That wasn't me. You know what I mean? I owed it to myself and to my loved ones and to my partners and my family to be better when I came home. So I put myself in positions that can help me be better, right? And then open up my creative juices, right? I was always in the band room, the theater room, right? I was always into music, had music on and was blowing, bro. You know what I mean? Where people shut it down, bro. Don't even get down, shut off everything. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Shut it off, bro. I'm finna go on one. It's good. You know what I mean? And it was something that, that we had inside that we look forward to. That was a free concert, bro. We never paid for our concerts inside, bro. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of performances, bro. We was never paid, bro. Not even a soup. You know what I mean? That's 25 cents.
You just got out there for the love of it, bro, and the creative part of it.
And that was the words, bro. It was all love, bro, and it was also expression, bro. It's either for me, it's either I wrote and put it on paper and expressed it, or acted out what I was feeling and what I was thinking. You know what I mean? So I always had a pen under my mattress, right? I had a pen and a piece of paper. No matter where I was at, I had it. You know what I mean? So whenever thought come to my head, I write it down too. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know about me and Bo. Me and Bo was sitting down at them tables in the youth authority, getting cracking, writing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They don't know I was with Triple Threat 3, the original first rappers from Sacramento, Mike C, DC Ray, Bruce Knight, you know what I mean? And the mighty BG, may he rest in peace, Otis Jefferson, man. I was a young pup with the music, bro. Bro, we used to sit around in a circle, and everybody had just rhyme, bro. And we'll just keep going around in a circle, just doing probably a one bar. Next person get the other bar. You know what I mean? And that's just what we were doing, just into music, bro. And I for those 28 years, 11 months and 27 days, bro, Music saved me, bro. Music saved me. It allowed me not to be muffled, not to be silenced. I was one of them one that was speaking about exactly what it was on the yard, bro.
because it was always the real shit.
I ain't care.
And
We gonna
and
do.
that's all I've ever known from
Ain't
you.
none of y'all
And
think none of y'all,
and that doesn't surprise me either,
bro.
bro.
And when I, and it was young, bro. We when we was on that page, and that's why it's a trip now for me to hear what the young cats is talking about now versus when I hit the penitentiary yard, bro. At 20 years of age, bro, I was spitting. You know what I mean? I was on a whole nother page, bro. You know what I'm talking about? But
Because you were
I was
completely different place in life. Let me ask you.
well,
Oh, go ahead.
I had went to the youth authority. I went to the youth authority first. So it prepared me for when I got there, it wasn't even a change or a transition for me. You know what I mean? That's not a good thing. And that's why they shut down the youth authorities because those youth authorities, 98% of us
Mhm.
went to prison or to the grave before we made it to prison. You know what I mean? Well, what was you
No, I
finna
was gonna
say,
say
bro?
as you start to look back, because we started talking about it before we went live, looking back at those pages, when you look at those pages, and I can relate to it with my Chronicles of a Villain EP because it was literally my entire life. So it was different for me, similar to what you're talking about when you look back, umpteenth years, back of like where you are as a man and as a person and how you've grown to these days to look back through, those words, that form of expression, putting those lyrics, putting those hooks down to look back at those pages that you're referencing to with some of those hooks that you were talking about or some lyrics, just kind of in general, even you telling that story right now. Um, what does it mean to you when you look back? Because I know you're not looking back for anything other than just maybe the remembrance, right? Of maybe where you were. There's no regrets. I know you are a person of no regrets. I know you're a person that is walking the path that was laid out by the Creator for him. But just looking at it now, when you look back at those flashbacks, if you will, um, what's that feel like for you when you process that?
Empowering, bro. For me, it was empowering, bro, because I was determined to leave out of there the same man that my mother raised, bro. I wasn't finna change, bro. I wasn't finna become a convict or an inmate, bro. I became even more of my mother's child. You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying? I got back to being who my mother raised, who my family raised, who my community raised. I got back to being John, bro. So for me, and then remember, we all went
Mhm.
young, bro. So we grew up there. We just
Yep.
didn't grow up on the street. Like y'all didn't grow up there. So some of our experiences are different, but we still grew up, bro. And the difference is the people on the streets, they didn't have to take programs. They didn't have to take groups. They didn't have to attend anything to deal with their issues, bro. So it's whatever they say, right? But inside, bro, there's
Mhm.
accountability. We have to go to those things. We have to go to those classes. Then we got to go to the psychologist to prove that that shit is for real and cemented in us, or
Mhm.
are we playing? Or if we playing, they gonna bang you, you ain't going home, period, bro. And then when you go before them three board members, which are 99% police officers and ex-DAs and now wardens and shit, bro. That's who you go before to prove that you're no longer who you were and that you worked on your issues and that you knew and you can identify them and call your issues out issue by issue, bro. If you can't do that, you're not going home, bro. If they don't believe you, you're not going home, bro.
And see,
People on the street don't have
what
to
I
go
never
through that,
understood
bro.
about that, and I think we might have talked about this briefly, whether either just in conversation that we've had off camera, or it might have even come up on one of our conversations here on the live before, is like, when somebody goes to trial, right? you get 12 members of your peers, right? That are judging you. How come it's
Mhm.
not when you're looking to come out? Like it's your peers that put you in there. I mean, shouldn't my
But it's not.
that doesn't make sense to
It's
me.
not my peers that
That
put me in there.
should be your peers.
Understand? Peer, my peers, my peers are not just people.
Correct.
My peers are the people in my community, and the board is supposed to be formulated of janitors, teachers, counselors, psychologists, bus drivers. It's supposed to be all these different people. That's people from my community. That's supposed to. It ain't no peers.
Hmm.
My ass. It's community. People from my community supposed to be judging me, bro. Right? Not people from somewhere that I never see and they never see me, bro. Those are the people that they call in to judge us, bro. Not people. Everybody was from my community got put the fuck off the jury, bro. As soon as they said they was from South Sacramento or Oak Park, they got put off the jury, bro. Simply because of that. Because they know what the shit go
Hmm.
on in our community, bro. So it's not a jury of our peers, bro. We'll never have a jury of our peers, bro, until
True
we
story.
stop people like Trump.
That's a true story, bro. That is a true story because it's a rigged
I'm
system.
just saying.
It's a rigged system, and you're speaking truth, bro. And this is our show. We can speak whatever the fuck we want. And we're damn sure going to speak the truth because you're right there.
I say this is the modern day slavery, bro. Police track you, DAs prosecute you, right? Attorneys fuck over you, right? And you go to prison. Well, all those people are now on the board of parole hearings that you got to go see, you know what I mean, to be found suitable for parole. How fair is that? The same people that tracked you down, bro, to put you in prison, you got to go prove to them that you're no longer the guy that or type of person that they spent their whole careers tracking down and putting in prison, bro. How could that be fair? How could that be
It
just,
can't.
bro?
It can't. One for two reasons. Number one, it's a rigged system off the top. I mean, we've talked about it how prison is a business, right? So you're fucking with the bottom line anytime you essentially let somebody out, unless you have somebody to replace them. And number two, from what you just said, from a conditioning standpoint, you have these DAs, you have these police, you have COs, whoever the case might be in law enforcement. They are conditioned. They are conditioned to chase you down essentially. And then at this level, when somebody's trying to get out and somebody such as yourself or anybody else that has been a good citizen while in that monastery.
Yo, bro. Monster, yo, we forgetting. Just when the last time you heard the word political prisoner?
It's been a minute. The problem.
Because they washed it away, bro. It didn't that we don't have political prisoners, bro. I went to 8 board hearings for absolutely nothing, bro.
So
Every time I went to board, I'm like, I don't what we gonna talk about. If you want to talk about my involvement in the crime, then let's talk about it. They never talked about my involvement in the crime, bro. In 8 board hearings.
8 times, 8 times
You understand
before
what
on
I'm
that
saying?
ninth.
So
That's again, if that's not a rigged system, I don't know
yeah.
what is.
But then I get out and then have all those. I was peeling my case. I peeled my sentence from day one, and then get out and continue my appeal. Then I win my appeal. Then they take charges off. And then they tell me, okay, we just gonna give you 5 years, as if none of that 28, 11, and 27 days count for anything. Okay, we act like that didn't happen. We're gonna sentence you to 5 years and take all those other charges off. So should I have been there in the first place?
That's crazy.
In the eyes of the law. In the eyes of the law, should I have been there in the first place? If I got home and appealed, and a year later, you had all them all them charges taken off me.
After you've already served the time. And it's crazy because you're not the only one that this happens to.
Basically, alive and well, bro. But a lot of us brothers in there, bro, our ancestors been on plantations before, bro. You know what I mean? So we didn't do nothing but made me stronger, bro. It made me a better man. It woke me up and made me really be even more about my people than I was before I left. And I was about my people as a child.
Well, it's no
You understand what I'm
100%. It's
saying?
no different because you grew, you allowed yourself to grow, you tended to the garden within you, and I bring that up obviously for a reason. We'll touch on that tonight, I think too, because once you're in there, you can keep on doing certain things that you've done in the past, or you can better yourself, like you said. You had said
It's just like the streets, bro.
it's the same
It's
exact.
no different. People keep talking about prison. Prison is just a place, bro. Like all the people come from society. They wasn't put there, and those people that were born in prison, and they put us there with them, and we went and we interacted with these people from prison. No, bro. All of us came from society, bro. All of us came from society. Yeah, we act different in there because the respect is different. And we're gonna respect. We're not gonna cross the line. And if we do, we know what it is when you do it. You know understand what I'm saying? That's the difference. The difference is I'm gonna give you your respect, bro. I'm gonna give every man their respect, bro, because I want them to give me mine, bro. It's not like that out here.
It is. It's a free for all.
Everybody knew. Everybody knew their place in there, bro. You had other people to answer to for your
Because
shit,
it comes
bro.
back to what you said earlier, accountability, and that's something that this and
Consequences. No, no. Fuck that. It come back to consequences. When you do something, there's a consequence for that shit. Out here, ain't none of that. It's what you said. What you say? Accountability. That's what they say out here. No,
well,
that's
true.
consequences for
And
that
I guess
shit.
I guess I mean it from
No, what I'm saying is different out here.
more.
It is.
I
It's
think more the
different.
standpoint. What I think
And
about when I use that word accountability, and this people being accountable for themselves, which ultimately lead to those consequences. That's context in which I'm using that, because you're absolutely right. Because out here in the the free world, as they call it, there is no such thing. There's no consequences. People aren't accountable for their own actions, and I mean it's fucked up, bro. And not only
people's their word, bro, is different. The word is different. Like it don't mean nothing. I live and die for my
we were
word,
talking
bro.
about it yesterday. I think yesterday when we
Period.
were talking, we talked about that.
Yeah, I say it. That's what it is, bro. No illusions, none of that shit. It's just what it is, bro.
And
You know what I mean? And out here, it's not like
no,
that,
you're
bro.
right. You're
And it's like we talking about prison is different. Yeah, motherfuckers is what they bout their word because if not, they don't keep their word. There's consequences, bro. And some of us, it was easy because that's
mhm.
just who we were. We weren't worried about no consequences. We were never gonna not gonna keep our word, bro, because that's who we were. But the people that wasn't, there was consequences, bro. You don't understand what I'm saying? So out here, there's just no consequences. You can do whatever, say whatever, and there's no consequences, bro. There used to
Mhm.
be, there used to be consequences for
That
shit,
ship sailed a long
and
time
now
ago.
it's just whatever.
Even at the
Mhm.
highest places of office, you brought up
Yeah,
Trump. Where's the consequences for that? Like, look what he's doing to the world. Look what he's doing to the country. Look what he's done to little kids. And this motherfucker's still the leader of the free world. Like, what there, bro? There is something wrong with that. There is something majorly wrong with
no,
that.
it's but no, bro, it's not. To
Well,
them,
that's what
they
I'm
make the
saying. Yeah,
laws.
yes,
That's why he's not in jail because they make the laws that's tailored for them not to go to prison
correct, correct.
for the shit they do.
Because everybody's just protecting everybody.
But let me sell a joint. Let me sell a joint though. Let me sell a rock to try to get
Yeah,
some
that's
money.
a big problem. That's a big problem. It's oh man, sometimes two and two don't make four, and it's fucked up.
Let me do something to somebody that did something to me. There's no stand your ground law, no self defense law for us, bro.
Comes
You
back to
understand
the
what I'm
rigged
saying?
system that we
So
were talking about earlier. It's a
that's what,
rigged fucking system.
and that's why when I got inside, bro, inside that monastery, I just wrote. I just wrote, bro. And yeah, I just wrote.
Because going back to what you just said a few minutes ago, sometimes at the end of it, all you have is your word, and your word is of value, and people are pissing away their value on the daily out here. I mean, we talked about it in the context, when yesterday when we were talking, we talked about it from the physical form of no longer being here in the world. Like, what are people really going to remember you for? People aren't going to remember the amount of money you had, or necessarily, they might remember like what you did or who you, but like actually, who were you? What did your mean? What did your word mean? What was your true value as a human? Not what was your bank account.
Your character, your character will be written on your tombstone if you get one. Somebody had to really give a fuck about you to get you a tombstone. And when they care about that, they're gonna write who you were on that tombstone. I'm just saying. you know, um, but yeah, man, I'm trying to think of this one. If I Man, I wish I would have brought that stuff out here, bro. I got all of that stuff written on paper too, and I can see it and just go. But yeah, man, I got some trippy stuff that I wrote, bro. Some stuff I think when you get here, we gonna have some fun
We are
with, bro.
definitely we are
No,
definitely gonna have some fun.
I got some stuff
Because it's that, I mean, that's all
with,
we're
bro.
gonna do. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna have the youth center going. Um, we're gonna have a farmstead going in time as well. And that's a beautiful thing. I think, one of the, and we talk on a very regular basis. I mean, you very much know what my years look like, and we talk about it. We're not gonna go into depth of it, but I think and I think subconsciously I always knew this, but going through the experiences just in general in life, I think more than ever this last year of life that I've experienced is and I had already been getting there, so let's not get that twisted. But I think an important thing to note for anybody watching this live or anybody that's going to watch this down the road is it's the quality of people that you put around you. Jumping off the tail end of the conversation that we were talking about with respect to nobody having any value to their word, really, or very few having any value to their words these days. And I think people get too hung up these days in the fact that it's about quantity, quantity, quantity. I don't have a lot of people, solid people, that I would tell a lot of things to, such as yourself. There's maybe a handful, maybe, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. In the past, maybe like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, um, it would have been different. I would have not thought that way. Um, but today, I feel it's a way to protect your peace and protect your energy as well, because the more people that you have around you, especially if they're individuals that are not solid and they don't have value to who they are and their character, like you're talking about, they're succubuses of your energy, right? And at the end of the day, we only have so much of that to go around. And people will steal that shit. People will steal your fucking energy all day, every day, especially if you allow them to.
Yeah, that it has to be allowed, bro. I'm
Hmm.
not allowing nobody to do that, bro. Right? Um, but for me, it's a different experience because I grew up with a lot of brothers in that monastery, and we were in school learning ourselves together, bro. And they're all home. So like I probably got like 6,000 Facebook friends. Probably 2,500 of them are from inside, bro. And I can call them anytime because we can call each other on our shit, and we know what healing looks like, bro. Like we ain't gonna bullshit each other and be like, "Oh yeah, homie, that was cool." Nah, we don't do that, bro. I don't even hang out with people that's like that, bro. Tell me my shit stink, bro. That's what I need to hear. I don't need to tell you. I don't need you to tell me. My partner to tell me that my shit smell good. Other people gonna say that.
Hmm. And that's never gonna
You
stop.
need to tell
That's
me my
never
shit
gonna
stink.
stop.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So and that's the community that we built, and now we still have that community out here. You know what I mean? So to the point that we all want to gather, bro, because this is we ask ourselves sometime where in the fuck they drop us off at to, bro. Because I told you, integrity, your word, just respect. It's blurred lines, bro, here, bro. In the free world, bro. It's blurred lines. So some like when I talk about that, yeah, that old school shit, yeah, from that shit that we have in prison, we had it on the street too. We just kept it in there and brought it back out here, where everybody else just let it go.
It's a completely different day. It's a
Because it
completely. I
became
mean, even thinking back
bro.
now, like to the beginning of the conversation when you brought up the political prisoner, the last time I can like consciously remember hearing that phrase was probably Nelson Mandela, honestly. And that was what, 89, 90s, give or take? At least when he got out. I was maybe 8 or
Amen.
9 when he had gotten out, give or take at that time. But that's the last time I think I can consciously remember that phrase being used in a wide scale where it was you would see it in the newspaper or obviously this was pre-internet. Um,
Bro, I I've murdered no one. People was getting out that murdered 3 people and shot up hella other motherfuckers at the same time and getting their parole on their first board hearing, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Like they didn't look like me, of course, but yeah, it was happening. For us, far and few in between, right? But it's just real life, bro. That is going on and it's prevalent and it haven't stopped, bro. It just haven't stopped. And I feel for my brothers that's caught up in that system because if you don't understand the game that they playing, you're gonna stay caught up in it. It's gonna be like a hanging chad, right? It's gonna be like a hanging chad. That if you can't pull that chad off, you'll never go
yep.
home. All of the other holes are punched out already. You understand what I'm saying? All the other holes are punched out. It's just that
They're
one
still hanging.
Chad still hanging that keeps you in prison, and they're not going to tell you what it
And
is.
you know what? It's
They know, they know what it is,
you
but they're not
putting
going
it
to
that
tell
way
you.
reminds me of Prentice Banks. We had him on an episode before you joined the live cast, and he just started 2 months ago. He started his 35th year of imprisonment. Shout out to our brother Prentice Banks. And what's crazy was, and this is still on YouTube. So anybody, I need y'all to go check out this conversation because this is a real life example of what Dooney is talking about right here. And the long and short of that episode, and when we talked about his scenario, again, he's now just started his 35th year of imprisonment. Essentially, what happened, he was 18 years old, no priors, no trouble with the law before this episode that I'm going to share with y'all. There was 3 of his homies that picked him up on a Friday or Saturday night out in California, and they were supposed to be going to a party. What they didn't tell him when they picked him up, before they came and picked him up, they went and robbed somebody. They committed a robbery.
Bro, I just
Go,
hey
no, go ahead,
Mike,
go ahead.
not to cut you off, just did 28 years for that, bro.
It's
So
very
kind of
similar, Jake.
similar,
Very
kind of
similar.
thing. You don't have to give me that story about that with brother. What I'm saying is there's political prisoners, and there's people that's inside shooting themselves in the foot that's giving them the ammunition to keep them inside, right? Political prisoners meaning I'm doing nothing other than
And
being me, and they're keeping me there
that's
simply
where I was
there
getting
because
because with
of that.
the 3 other dudes, no,
You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
The 3 other dudes that he ended up getting charged with, 1 got out in 2 years, 1 got out in 5 years, 1 got out in 13, and they were the ones that actually committed the act. And if anybody wants to hear the full story as to, why, go watch the episode. But I bring it up because that's exactly what you're talking about. He's essentially a political prisoner, and I had a separate conversation with him probably like 3 months ago, and he gave me the whole breakdown of like the behind the scenes of him basically being a political prisoner. But same thing like
But
we're
there's
talking about with Monster
but
Yo too.
there's see, there's things that make you a political prisoner. You're just not a political prisoner just because they hold you for 8 board hearings. You keep having get caught with cell phones for 3 years straight and stay in prison,
Absolutely.
and you know what I mean for keep getting
No, you're
denials and
absolutely
staying in
right.
prison. But we ain't gonna. You know what I'm saying? There could be anything that you could be doing that they'll be using to keep you in prison. It ain't that
No,
you're a political
correct.
prisoner. Political prisoner is someone that has influence inside as well as outside, and they know that,
And
bro.
and
And they know if you get out and if you use that, they already know it's not negative. They did that to me. They said that they didn't understand how I had so much influence being inside on in the free world as well as inside. And I'm saying, so what does that mean? If I was doing something wrong, you would be saying, hey, I'm giving you 5, 10, 15-year denial because you did something wrong. That's not what they're saying. They're saying you are a threat because you have that influence and we don't know what you're going to do with it when you get out. So they play God. Well, what you do know is what I'm doing with it right now. And I'm doing the same thing inside that I was doing, I'm
yep,
doing out here right now. I started in there. I didn't start out here.
it's
I
been the same ever
started in there.
since. No, and you're absolutely right. And it's and it comes back to just people fear the unknown, right? Or in this scenario, what we're talking about, they fear
No, they
that
fear what they know.
it's and that's
That's
where I was
not
going.
the
They fear the unknown of
that's
what
not the
they
known.
think they
Police, them police and DAs know exactly who the fuck we are, bro. In our communities, bro.
and
That's why they put you away, bro. For that reason. You
no,
understand what I'm
correct.
saying?
And what I mean by that is it
What
comes
they
back
know.
to the whole when somebody's different than you, right? Whether you want to use the example of racism, classism, religion, religious,ism.
You can't say that, bro. It's racism. Just we got to stick to
I
what
was
it
just
is,
using
Mike.
those as general examples because
Them don't even exist, bro. Them is just things that they throw out there that apply to them because it don't apply. It don't apply
and
to
that's
us.
that's where I was kind of going with that in the sense of
You can't never say
not the
that, bro.
unknown because they do know clearly this is all happening for a reason. Let me be very clear with that. There's no two ways about it. It's a rigged
Yeah,
system. We talked about that earlier, but I mean from the standpoint that um, they have the fear of what's different from them, essentially, and the influence that can come from that. And that's kind of what I was meaning by that in that respect as well. Not because the unknown, because they
yeah,
do
that's
know.
different.
They know and they know exactly what the fuck they're doing as well.
But that's totally different. What you're saying right now is totally different. Yeah, no, they got to be held accountable, bro. And we got to call it what it is, bro. It's too many people afraid not to call it what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you are a testament that you don't have to be that way.
It's true, and nobody does.
And I know you probably you ever heard of a term called the fear of the black planet? And when the last time you ever think you ever heard of the
No,
fear
I
of the
can't. I
black
can't
planet?
honestly recall that I've heard that. No.
Yeah, that started like in the late '80s. It started around that mid '80s, late '80s, mid '80s, late '80s, '86, '89, '90. Fear of the black planet, right? Where there's a fear that everything that we touch, because no matter who we mate with, right? If 1% of us is in any race, they're black. And so the fear that you saw, if you didn't understand it, bro, when they went and they raided the White House, right? That was the fear of the black planet. That's why they saying they got to make America great again, bro. They have to make the whites stand up and stand up for the whites, because if not, the more we mix with whites, the more apt the jaw will become extinct. It's a matter of when, right? Because there's, according to their, unless they change and say, okay, she's still white if it's 80,
Mhm.
89% white and just 1% black. If they keep it at that 1%, there will be no more whites, bro. That is the fear of Black Planet. And that's
Yep.
just a reality, bro. That some people just sit back and think like dinosaurs become extinct, right? Some people has that fear, bro. And it's prevalent. I understand it. I don't want to make your race become extinct. We
Mhm.
don't want to make your race become extinct, bro. But you're gonna have people as mixed races mixing, and there's nothing you can do about it. What you can do is just stay with you and yours, bro. You don't have to spew hatred or none of that. I don't mind if you over there trying to preserve that, but you
Correct.
ain't gotta hate me to do it.
Correct. Absolutely.
You understand what
Absolutely.
I'm
It's no
saying?
different.
I'm not trying to sleep with your wife. I'm not trying to sleep with your daughter, bro. We're not trying to come up in your house, bro.
You
That's
just need
not
to
what
live
we're
your life
doing,
no
bro.
different than anybody
And
else
that
would
was
do.
the whole point. The whole point was when Barack Obama became president, now a black man is in their house, bro.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Now their children and their wives is watching this black man now running the country, bro. Now it's not the same thing that he used to tell them about us black people. A lot of myths
Just
has
debunked
been,
at that point. And now
dispelled.
the fear grows even more because
Yeah, yeah. And now that's what everything that you see happening right now is to preserve the white race, bro. All those militias and
Mhm.
shit that's going on, bro, is to preserve their race, bro. And we say you ain't gotta hate us to preserve your race, bro. Just go
And
live
just
and
leave
do
it at
you,
that.
bro.
And just leave it at that.
If these white women is not attracted to y'all, then they're gonna go somewhere. They're gonna go to Mexico. They're gonna Asian. You're gonna get rid
Mhm.
of everybody. Is that what
And
you? What is that? What you're saying? Because any race that mixes with your
and
race
what's
is now
crazy
that
about
race.
that, what's the most crazy about you saying that too, sadly, there are people, because I was just asking myself in my question, what are you gonna have at that point? And those people who are really thinking that way, they could probably care less. They could probably care less, which is fucked up. I mean, it's no different than when Orange Man took office again, you started I think I don't know, I don't remember if it was Georgia or Alabama.
Think about it, bro. Think about it, bro. How can people be so deceived to storm the White House because they feel that man was cheated in the vote? Nah, bro. That was just, it's time to make this movement and take over this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Before these blacks and these
Really
other races
really start to
stand up,
take
bro.
over more than they already have in their mind.
And they think that we want to retaliate, bro. If we want to retaliate, we'd have really been
E
did it, bro. That's not
exactly,
who we are.
exactly.
We're not a hateful or spiteful people, bro. Because if it was, it would have
And it
been
could be done
war.
literally any given
You know
day.
what I'm
If it was
saying?
really about that, it could be done any given day at this point.
It's not who we are. You know what I mean?
Nah, you're good.
Hold on, real quick. Um, so going back to what I was talking about, like, what I think, what I say, ooh, I can't remember that one, bro. How in the hell am I supposed to keep my eyes on the prize or my captor keep telling me lies? All the wise thinking to carry the freedom before my eyes. Honestly, though, really it's no surprise based upon the fact that this whole country is founded upon lies. So we should expect it for the forefather children to attempt to pull the wool over our eyes. They say fruit don't far, far from the tree. So how are they supposed to be? Are they truly expected to care about those who are the same complexion as me? Just as they say, so true. Just us being victimized and but yeah, bro. Nah, hey, look, hey, bro. I was in the writing, bro. Man, we gonna come back, bro, and bring some stuff and really let you see, like, you know what I mean? Um, where I was at, man, because I talked about all this stuff right now. I was already talking about it at 20 and 21 and 22 years of age, bro. I was already talking about this whole system, bro. And I was already on some us being blacks is killing blacks. What is it with that? Killing your brother for the color of the shirt on his back? Red or blue, it doesn't matter to you. Wrong city, wrong color, chalk it up in your throat. Red, black, and green. Red, black, and green. You know what it means to feel the bloodshed. The power in the unity. You change the base from the base to the black race. Killing your brother for the life betrayed. Charlie Fair, she's hurt. It's too late. The color nurse, a young brother in the casket in the back of her hearse. His family cries. Till in the eyes. You wonder why you're going to prison for the rest of your life. He never got to be a man, not even given the chance to give a wife in your life. Would you give a damn? Though a minority. Know what it means to me? It just means it's more harder for the blacks in society to say that we dumb, to go back to where we come from. Talk about behind our back, do they want some? Call us the N-word, I heard, but more daily we'll learn. This is a secret, now we're equal, now it's our turn. This is the land of the free, but for who? Not for me, no motherland to understand that's where I want to be. And so I tell it like it is, tell it like it is, tell it. I tell it like it is. That's 19. I mean, that's 20 years old, bro. On the penitentiary yard, bro.
And not much has changed since then. If anything, it's gotten worse.
Everything I
It's
wrote
ex-
is
and that's the beautiful
relevant.
thing about real music, right? Timeless. When you talk about timeless music, that right there is
Mhm,
timeless because it's gonna be exactly what it's gonna be. Especially when you
mhm,
talk about, and I appreciate you expanding on the Black Planet because that was something that I learned today that I did not know.
mhm. People have that
Well,
fear, my brother. Just think
I,
about
bel
it.
I
Becoming
believe
extinct,
it, and
bro.
it's crazy, and it
You don't
reminds me
think
of growing up. My grandfather on my father's side. Go
we
ahead, go
talk,
ahead.
you know how I know you
How's
didn't
that?
think that way? Because you didn't want kids. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Their whole thing is to preserve their race. They want to have as many fucking kids as they can, bro.
That way they can keep putting that down.
And
Yep.
when you said you didn't, and when we clicked, and I found that out, I was like, oh shit, he ain't that can't be you because that is what moved them. Bro, just think about if you sit back and think about your race no longer being here. You just sit there
Hmm.
and focus on that shit. And you know it's possible. And it's them motherfuckers that's most possible, that's most capable of making it happen. And you just sit there and you focus on that shit. Look, he's with a white lady. He's in our neighborhood. He's at our store. You know what I mean? Like you can really make yourself
Hmm.
storm the White House, bro.
If you put
You
it in your
understand
head,
what I'm saying?
absolutely, absolutely.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. That's what you seen, bro. They wanted the White House back white, bro.
And they were going to do it any which way possible.
And Trump the leader.
And then they all got off. They all got off. And then they all got, like,
When you, if I'm the leader, I'm gonna let
well,
mine off too. What the hell you mean, bro? That's gangster,
that's what
bro.
I'm saying.
That fool gangster, bro. What the fuck?
It's oh god, it's so fucked up. But wait,
But he didn't know nothing about it though. He
he
didn't know
didn't.
they was gonna do that.
No knowledge whatsoever. None. None.
But you know, it is what it is, man. You know, uh, but yeah, man, I wrote so much in there, man. Um, I lost a lot of stuff because I had somebody hold it for me
Mhm.
because I didn't want to have what I wrote in my property getting ready for
Yep.
board. If they find it, they're gonna be like, this motherfucker. They did not need to
Yep.
see what was in my head, bro.
Because that ninth
They did
parole
not need to see.
hearing would become a 10th, an 11th, a 12th, a 13th, 14th.
Oh, I
That's
probably
what
would
I'm
have never
saying.
if they bro, they was already going in my cell, bro, taking all my everything I wrote. They just go in my cell to find stuff that I wrote, bro, and make copies of it. And I find out because they have little mini micro, whole micro thing like this big of a page of my writings. And oh, you didn't take that out? Oh, that's what y'all did. You copied my shit and wrote me up for some of the writings that I wrote, bro. They said I'm racially, racial. They said racial. Wisconsin racial shit. I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. There's no way I can be a racist, bro. There's just no way I could be. I don't
Mhm.
have the power. I don't have the political power, nor the capital to
Mhm.
be a racist.
'Cause it takes resources, it takes energy, it takes and it oh god, it's so fucked up, bro. It's so fucked up. But sad that's
But it didn't stop me from writing, bro. But I do got a lot of stuff that I wrote. I just need to like I need to get it out because, like I was saying, there's a part of me that people
mhm.
didn't get to see. They don't know that side of me. They didn't know who I was in there
You
because
gotta
they
take some
wasn't
time
in
to go
there.
meditate on
But
that.
my
You gotta go to
writings let
meditate
you
on
know
that.
I've been a grown ass man. Yeah, my writings let you know I've been a grown ass man since 19. That man I am right now, I was that motherfucker when I committed that crime and went to prison and decided I'm finna become a damn man and leave the bullshit alone. From that point on, all my music reflect that, bro. Not saying that I didn't write some stuff, just to like, cause I can. You know what I mean? Wrote some stuff just cause I can about whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, I've always been a writer, bro. I read. I just read on the great leaders, and how they all, were killed. That's all I cared about. How was the great leaders, our leaders, killed? Nothing else about the history. Don't
Mhm.
give a fuck about it, bro. How was it? Why did they and how did they kill our great leaders, bro? That's what I read about. Anything else, bro? It wasn't psychology, how the human mind works, and stuff like that, bro. I wasn't concerned about it, bro. Human behavior, psychology, bro. I took all that, bro. Took all them. Make sure I took all them classes. They was free. You know what I mean? But it's good to know how the human mind
Knowledge
works,
is
bro.
power. Knowledge is power.
Man, you know.
And again, that's something that we were talking
Yes.
about yesterday when we were on our phone conversation too. Like, no different. And we are talking about it in the context of what we talked about on the show in the past when they've taken things like carpentry away from schools or just anything that will better anybody.
Bro, in prison, I took landscaping, milling cabinet, carpentry, painting, vocational painting, and also what was the other one? Something else, landscaping or something. But I certified in every state. That's what I did with my
I
time,
think
bro. I told you I was in school, bro. I never was not in vocation, bro. I never
I
worked for
think
them,
that's why
bro.
it's important with what we're gonna do, going forward and in the future. We're gonna obviously start in Sacramento, but we know it's gonna grow to be something bigger than that. Um, because we talk about it all the time. It's a lifestyle. We got to give it back to the communities. We got to give it back to the youth. And
We need to teach women and children, bro, how to build houses, bro. If we can teach them just how to build a box, they can build a house,
it's
bro.
that simple. It's that simple because then you could just add on to it little by little. You figure it out. You figure it out, and when you have people that can teach you along the way as well,
You learn to make that box.
you gotta share that
Yeah, bro.
knowledge.
And bro. You know, to make that box in the garden, bro. Build your own, bro. Everything you can. You don't need these people, bro. We become dependent. We became lazy, and lazy is killing us. It's not
No,
helping
not
us.
even close to helping us, like, just
Convenient. We are conveniently
little
killing
by little,
ourselves.
literally little by little.
No, chunk by chunk.
That's
Having heart
that's a
attacks in
very
the
fair,
40s,
that's a
bro.
very extremely fair point.
30s, bro. You understand what I'm saying? 30s and 40s, bro. Prostate cancer, huh? 30s and 40s, bro. It's the
The
food,
shit that
bro.
they're putting in the food is
And that's
ridiculous
all. And remember, they grew up on it their whole life, all the way in their 30s and 40s. They've been eating it. So those are the ones that's getting
because they're
cancer.
literally putting toxins inside their body.
Colon cancer. Yes. Yes. So we gotta change that, bro. You know what I mean? We gotta change that. That means feed our community. Even if we don't get them to come to the garden, my
And make
thing
sure
is
they're
to
still
feed
getting
our
fed with the
community,
right
bro.
nourishment, and not this bullshit. Like, it was crazy. I saw a reel
Change our
yesterday on Instagram where it was these two people, and the reel was they went to Chick-fil-A, right? And they were outside Chick-fil-A, and they were talking about the stuff that they put in Chick-fil-A. So the and it hit me so crazy. And I don't eat Chick-fil-A. I don't really eat anything um like that. But what they did was they took the French fries, right, and they took like silicone, like construction silicone, and they sprayed it on top of the French fries, and they were like, "Would you eat this?"
hmm
And then they're like, "Well,
hmm
if you're eating this, you are, because that's literally the shit that they put in their French fries." Then they took what they take, like antifreeze or something like that, shit that you put in your car. They started dumping antifreeze in the sauce.
Human DNA in our food, bro, to make you addicted to it, bro.
And it's crazy because this is the shit that they're literally putting into our food, and it's crazy. I think I might have told you this.
Hey, where they getting that from? Where they getting all that DNA
Well,
from to
we
put
always
in
hear
all
about
of
these
our food?
kids and these people going missing, or like how
Crazy, bro.
I was talking to Kellyanne. I think I told you this a couple weeks ago. Kellyanne, who's part of the VP team, she was talking about how there was a study done, and you can go look this up on Google. Anybody, you can go look this up on Google. We are actually, as human beings today, we are actually considered. We're not considered. Let me put it this way: we are not considered 100% human anymore, and the reason for that is that we have consumed in this generation so many microplastics through our clothing, through things that we eat, so on and so forth, that we are actually considered, bro, 7% plastic. 7% plastic is what makes up our bodies. And what she say, the statistic was it would take 5 generations, like starting today, 5 generations of getting anything that's, in our bodies out of our bodies before somebody would be considered 100% human again, because we are literally made up of 7% plastic. That's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, you are what you eat, bro. Like, um, you just gotta be
Yeah.
moderation is key, bro. Moderation is key. I can't get stuck on
Hmm.
liking something too much. You need to change. You know what I mean?
But you're right. They're putting shit in this food, especially when it
Yeah.
comes to fast food and food of almost any kind at this point. They're putting shit in there.
Anything
And
that's on the
no
shelf,
different
bro.
than similarly in foundationally, meaning the shit that they put in cigarettes, the chemicals they put in cigarettes to make you addicted to it. This food, they put
hmm
shit in it to
hmm
make you addicted to it because
hmm
they know long term. And I saw another thing related to food. I think it was Pfizer. Pfizer owns, and obviously we're talking about big pharma. Pfizer, they own like the main ingredient that goes into cheese, right? Think about that.
hmm
Why would
hmm
a company like Pfizer own like the majority of cheese, specifically in the United States? And I forget what the exact, because cheese is made up of what, three ingredients: water, milk, and I forget what the third thing is that comes from like the intestine of a calf or something like that. But they're basically doctoring and making up this third ingredient and putting it in our cheese. And cheese is one of the most consumed things in the entirety of the world. And you have a company like Pfizer that owns like 93% of the company that makes this very key ingredient to actually make cheese. Again, healthy. I mean, it goes back to the rigged system of healthcare. And oh God, it's crazy. And the fucked up thing is nobody's gonna pay attention for a couple reasons that we talked about tonight, right? The convenience of it, right? The convenience of just going getting Chick-fil-A or getting something off the grocery store shelf.
People would pay attention to it if that shit was put in their
That's what I'm
face every
saying.
day.
Because 85% of the world every
It was
single
put in their
day.
face just like you saw it.
Yep.
Just like you saw it. People be seeing shit and waking up, bro. But they ain't gonna put it on TV to discredit
No, it's gonna hurt the bottom
their
line.
businesses.
It's gonna hurt the bottom line. And that's exactly what it comes down to.
That 1% don't give a damn about who dying. As long as they living and their kids is living, they don't care about nobody else.
It's
It is what it is, big dog.
wild. It's wild.
But we
And
fight,
that's all we can
we
do.
continue, we
That's all
change,
we can.
and we rise up, bro.
Yeah.
Period, bro. This ain't the same people of old. And I know our people back then didn't lay down because it ain't in us. I'm not saying some people didn't, but I know that a lot of our people was murdered because they wasn't laying down, bro. And they know it, bro.
It's a true story.
That's why they got them training camps, bro. All the camps, all the militia camps, bro. I don't care about none of that. We trained in the street, bro. We already did that. But do we need to be more tactical?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Do we need to prepare? Yeah. You know what I mean? Do we need to get ready? Should we get ready? Yeah. You just stay
That's
ready so you
exactly
don't
what I
have
was
to
gonna
get
say.
ready.
You always have to
You
stay
know?
ready. Especially the way the world's going today, bro.
Yeah.
It's wild the world that we're
Yeah,
living
right.
in.
I have faith in my people, and I know my people is waking up.
No different than you said, people are being taken away chunk by chunk. People need to start waking up chunk by chunk. Like with the world being 85% followers, we need to get that number down.
And watch this, Mike. Those that's not, wake up.
It's true though. It's so true. It's so true that it's scary because people just it's a designed system. We talked about it earlier in this conversation. The system is designed for exactly this. And unless people will buck the system, it's only going to continue to be like this and or get worse.
Well, I mean, bro, it's media, bro. As long as they control the media, mass media, bro, it's
Well,
gonna be
now
like
as of
this.
2 days ago, there's for the first time ever in the United States, um, there is a monopoly on the media because Trump okayed the deal of I forget who got sold to who or whatever, but basically like all of Trump's cronies essentially own like
I mean, it been
well
that
yes,
anyway, though.
but now it's official and like on paper for what it's worth, right?
How how was it not official and on paper? All those news stations, name
Well,
one
exactly.
black
Even
one,
BT,
name one
even
any
BT
other
did
race
it.
one, name one any
There's not.
national anything
There's
that's
not.
any other
There's
race
not.
white. It's been that way,
Oh,
bro.
and I'm not
Ain't nothing
discounting that. I'm
changed,
not
bro.
discount. I'm just saying
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the people are changing, but that's been
it's
that way,
not been
bro.
any different. It's not been any different. You're absolutely right. They're just gaining
Same
more and
thing.
more control,
Same
more
thing.
and more control, and we allow it to happen.
Trump said, "You gonna say what I want you to say? You ain't gonna say shit. I am being a dictator. Period. I'm learning and I'm letting y'all know I'm a dictator. Where I say go. If you don't like what I say, I tell you it's fake news. Believe what I say. Just only believe what I say. And if you don't do that as a person that's around him, he boots you, bro. He boots you the fuck out.
It's that simple. It's that simple. And he and who he has himself surrounded by, they're the ones that control it all.
I don't think there's no president all together. All the presidents in history together never fired as many people as Trump have on his own. We should Google that. How many people got fired by all presidents throughout history versus how many people Trump fired since he's been president?
And that's not even taking into account the people who have actually quit, whether on their own accord or it was a
Man,
forced quit.
I'm
No,
not
no,
quitting.
no,
I
no. I'm
don't care
saying just
about
in
that.
addition to.
Anybody can get into it with Trump. No, anybody get into it with Trump. We don't care how you left. You left because of him.
That's
We
what I'm
don't
saying. If
care.
you
We ain't
combine
trying
the
to
two,
say,
because of him.
none of that shit. I said all the people that Trump ousted, straight up. Ain't no, we ain't cutting no lines. Everybody that's out, he ousted is on that list.
And
Those they all count.
it's a lot.
Shit. It don't matter how he get
And
rid of them. He get rid
we're
of them.
talking
He make
about
you give him your
4 years plus. It's just been a little over a year in his second term. The number is probably staggering. Staggering. But that's why we got to keep living this lifestyle that we're setting forth and doing the things that we are doing, and we continue to plan to do because somebody's got to do it.
That's why I'm doing this right here, bro. Color the block, bro. Putting them community gardens in, trying to put them in all the
Or we
schools we
can't.
can put them in, bro. I'm
We can't.
you know what I mean? And once we get in there with that right there, they see how did I build how did you build that? Hey, you need a carpentry shop. I'll show you how to build these, planter boxes, these greenhouses.
And it's going to
You
be
know what I mean?
nonstop.
All it takes and yeah, all it takes is for somebody to get a taste of it, bro. And it'll all be back, bro. That's what happened. They got a taste of it. And then somebody said, hey, I don't like it. Let's get rid of it. Those people
Hmm.
are no longer living.
Well, it's crazy because we said it earlier, knowledge is power. Once we start sharing that knowledge,
Took all them things
oh,
out
it's a
of
whole nother ball game.
all them people that took all that shit out of our schools, bro, are no longer living. You know what I'm saying? And if so, they're no
Hmm.
longer a threat. So, you got a lot of people that's forward thinking, bro. For all those people that are, racist, there's many, many, many more that is not. You know what I mean? So there's many people that's really about the kids, bro.
And that's what it has to be about. It has to be
And really
the next
about
generation, because that's how things get changed. I mean, it's generational
yeah.
changes that we are setting forth going forward.
I'm trying to put fruit trees everywhere I can put fruit trees, bro. Everywhere I can put them, I'm gonna put them, bro.
It's just a tree for somebody to go eat from.
I may not be here,
But you know
bro,
what?
but these
Well, that's what
babies
I'm
is gonna
saying, because
eat,
for
bro.
everyone
And
that
when
is
they grown,
grown and is planted, that's one
they're
more
gonna
tree
eat,
that's
bro.
out there.
It's about them. It's for them, bro. Everything's about them, bro. You know, everything is about them, bro.
It has to be. And sadly, a lot of people don't want to do that. People want to take the easy out, or the enabled route, or the convenient route, whatever word you want to give it. Nobody wants to do the hard work these days anymore. And put whatever people just want the picture moment, the look at me moment. And it's
They wanted it that way, bro. Just look, when we talk about the mass media, bro. Just think about it when you were growing up. How many family television
oh,
shows
they were
did you
all over the
see?
place. You had the Cosbys, you had Family Matters, even in like my day, or like a Full House, or this or that. I mean, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
That's what TV was for the most part.
What do you have
Complete
now?
opposite. Complete opposite.
You understand what I'm saying? And so they knew what they were doing because they're sitting there and they're training you with that idiot box on what it is, right? Same thing with independent woman, bro. All that stuff. They was like that. Independent didn't mean that you didn't need a man in your life. Independent woman means you can
Hmm.
just do what you do. You know what I'm saying? With your man
Correct.
by your side. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Oh, I don't need no man because I got the money. I got all that. Okay, well, okay. If you didn't need no man, then God wouldn't have put us here. if we didn't need each
It's
other.
the superiority complex.
But yeah, you don't never hear now the man. I bring home the bacon. He bring home the bacon. I fry it up in the pan.
Hmm.
You don't hear that shit, bro. Like those used to be anthems that the man went and got the money and the one came and cooked it up, bro. It was a family thing, and the kids, everybody got served. You know what I mean? Um, they don't have them type of things anymore, bro. Everything's about individuality, bro. They made everybody stop being a community, stop being family, stop being about other people, and made them
Yep.
selfish instead of selfless, bro.
That's it right there.
Slowly
That's
through
it.
the media, bro. Will you break down the family structure now? You remember all them shows where they sit down and had dinner at the table, bro?
That hardly ever happens these
When
days.
the hell do people sit down and have
Extremely
dinner at the
rarely.
table
Like not
now?
even on Sundays anymore. Not even on Sundays anymore.
So, you know, they built this. They designed it, bro. And people just watched it. And when you watch
You
something
get
over and
conditioned.
over
That's what it's
again,
supposed to
you
be.
just yeah,
So fucking true.
yeah.
And it's
When I say I only watch news, bro,
well, and,
that's all I used to watch inside was the news and Sanford and Son at
hmm.
night if I can get it in. You know what I mean? If I couldn't get my antenna to watch it, man, ain't no news. I cut it off. You ain't gonna. Y'all know y'all communicate through that right there, and I want to see what y'all talking about. You know what I mean? That's something you can't hold from me. You know what I mean? It's crazy. We don't even watch the news, bro. It's like we don't matter. What do you mean it don't
Yeah,
matter? So you walk right over here next to this dude, he blow your ass up because it didn't matter. You wasn't conscious of what the hell was going on around the world, right? Yeah, it matters.
you're just
It
not paying
matters, bro.
attention to what matters.
Yeah. They don't want you to because if they did, they keep it on regular television and take all that other
Hmm.
bullshit off. If they really wanted you to be woke, they gonna let you rock you to sleep
And they're gonna just keep controlling what they can.
with all these different shows, bro. That I can't even. As soon as I cut it
Oh
on,
God,
I cut it
I
off.
hate watching TV these
Every
days.
time.
Unless it's like a documentary,
I'm
like
not
you were
against.
talking about earlier, just something that can give you.
I'm just not against. I'm not against homosexuality at all, bro. I'm not against that, bro. But every black man I see on TV is homosexual, bro. Every single one of them, and I have a problem with that. Every show, bro. That ain't something cool for me to be watching. It ain't even cool for our sisters to be watching because they become desensitized and think it's cool too. It's not cool.
Yep, when you're just pushing this one
You
narrative.
know what I
Yep.
mean? That's kind of like always showing us. Now they ain't all they always showing us committing crimes. Every show we got to be committing a crime in the show. You know, it's yeah, bro. That
The media runs it all because again, like you said, it's the easiest way to get, especially God, especially when it used to be called the 24-hour news cycle. It's a 24-minute
bro.
news cycle these days. So the more that you can just show people, the more it's going to be put into your head over time. That subconscious is going to continue to think, make the conscious think that this is what it's supposed to be like. Yep.
They know that. Why do you think it's always blacks being put on there that's breaking the laws instead of white people breaking those laws? Why they ain't being showed all the time on the news,
It makes you think back to the
right?
60s when they were
So
doing,
we're
when like
making
this.
now we know exactly why because if you did, then the white people would hate you.
It's a form. It reminds me of a form of mind control. It's
It
exactly
is, bro. It's I took
manipulation. Yep.
mass manipulation, bro. I made sure I took that course, bro, just to see what was going on, just to really wake up to like, wow, wait a minute, they really controlling everything, bro. They come in everybody's house, bro. It's not a house or even outside they get to you. As long as you got a phone, they can get to you. They can manipulate you, bro. and we slowly get rocked to sleep with that shit, and we slowly become us,
Well, and it's
and we
crazy
don't even
too
see
because
it.
literally being rocked to sleep by a lot of people being rocked to sleep by it. You go to sleep and then you're literally sleeping on that, and that just gets more programmed into your mind. They know exactly what they're doing, bro. You know,
It's sharp, bro. They've been
it's
doing it for
crazy.
years.
Well, any final thoughts you want to get? I know we've been going a little bit over an hour. We could probably sit here until tomorrow morning and talk about this. Honestly, we can continue this part of the conversation next Monday. To be honest with you, any
Nah, and I'm gonna bring some of them
you
writings out,
should,
bro. You bring some of them writings out, let you see, where my
you
mind
definitely
was,
should.
bro. I was like youngsters, they understand where my mind was at their age, bro. Because I be hearing, oh, he's only 20, he's only 19, he's only 21. What the hell does that mean? That mean he was
Yep.
growner than me. When I went to prison, I was 19. When I went to way I was 16. So I don't see that being like a kid. I understand having an adolescent mind, but being awoke
Yep.
is that's that time.
And it's been time.
It's
It's been
becoming
time.
woke.
Well, you heard it here first, people. Next Monday we're gonna have. I gotta link you up with them, but we're gonna have T Gatson and Danielle Cox from GCU TV right here in Kansas City joining us. But what we're gonna be doing, people, if you haven't tapped in with us the last couple of shows, what we're gonna be doing going forward is if we have a special guest, because going forward you're going to get more of these shows where it's just me and Dooney having these conversations. But even when we do have a guest, Dooney and I are going to have a little bit of time after that guest show as well to be having these types of conversations. But we had a lot to say tonight, which is why I ended up putting the Black Wall episode that I was going to run tonight to tomorrow. Because this is important. These are conversations that need to be had. We're going to continue to have guests here and there. But but with what Dooney and I have got planned, this is kind of the transition to what we've got planned going forward. Because I'm moving to Sacramento, we're starting a youth organization. A lot more to come on that, and more will be revealed in time. We'll eventually be taking the show on the road, literally getting into the communities as well. A whole lot going on. But next week, you're getting some Dooney verses written, and that'll be after the conversation that we'll have with T. Gatson and Danielle Cox. But again, people, tomorrow, tune in. I'm going to run it at a special time, 10 p.m. Central tomorrow night. It'll be 8 p.m. out in the Pacific. We're going to have Black Wall, who named Tech Nine, and then 25 or so, almost 30 years later, maybe had a song named Black Wall Street by Tech Nine. So it was a really dope conversation. I know that night you weren't able to be a part of that conversation, but it's a hella good one. We got some exclusives. He wrote a book that's either just about to come out or has come out recently. So tune in for that tomorrow, people. As always, this has been the We Outside live cast. This conversation, if you caught it in the middle or towards the end, or you want to see the whole thing, it lives on our YouTube channel at We Outside Livecast. It's that simple. My brother, I always appreciate the conversation with you, the open conversations, the authentic conversations, the real conversations that we have with each other, which is no different than the conversations that we do have when we have guests on as well. And I appreciate these, and we're going to be doing a lot more of these going forward because these are just as important, um, you know, as our guest shows. And in some cases, depending on what we're talking about, maybe even more important, I would argue, honestly, because we're willing to have them. Other people aren't. And you know what? That's okay
Mm-hmm.
because this is our path that we're walking. And we accept that and we embrace it. And that's all I can say about that.
Man,
Man, you know
we
what it is, my
outside.
brother. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you tomorrow. I'm gonna hit you tomorrow.
Oh, you
Yeah, yeah.
gone? You
Now we're
gone
gonna head
now?
out now. I gotta
Okay.
go check in on Jupe, see how she's doing. She had a concussion, potential concussion. She got kicked in the back of the head with a soccer ball today, accidentally. But we picked her up early, so I gotta go check on her. I gotta go let the dogs out, and I'm potent.
Concussion? Or she just got hit in the
She
head with the
she
soccer ball?
she has symptoms. She has symptoms. She's definitely been showing symptoms.
Be careful with that shit, man. Like, I played soccer since I was 7, bro.
Well, that's the thing. She wasn't playing.
And
She was
yeah,
nonchalantly walking across the field, which she probably shouldn't have.
you got, you know what I'm saying? She
Yeah.
got hit in the back
Mhm.
of the head with a soccer ball. That's that thing right there. Her thing is her. It's still growing.
Yeah.
It's still maturing. It hasn't fully
Yep.
shaped and formed
Yep.
yet. So,
So I'm gonna be
yeah,
up and
just
just
yeah. Tell her you better keep your head on
mhm.
the swivel. What?
Like, yes, and I hope she learned not to be walking across the soccer field like that anymore, especially when she's not playing. Yeah, you gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention.
And she
Say
playing
again?
right now. Yes, she
Nah,
playing
she's getting
soccer
right
right
back in
now.
the softball season. Starts at the end of this month or next month or something like that. We just got the schedule tonight sent out to us.
Okay.
Crazy.
That's good
Yeah,
stuff. That's good stuff. Dang, it's come back
just
already
like
again.
that, bro. Just
It's
like
been a
that.
year.
Man, ain't
It's
that the
been a year.
truth? Well, my brother, you have a good night. I'm gonna get at you
All
tomorrow,
right.
man. I appreciate the conversation as always, bro. All love and respect.
sir.
Send my love that way, and I'll be talking to you tomorrow. All right, bro.
Yes,
You
sir,
too.
brother. Have a good
Peace.
night.